All right, buckle up, everybody. We're going deep on Jessica Alba today.
Oh, yeah. She's been in the news a lot lately, huh?
You know it. We're talking actress, entrepreneur, and recent split from Cash Warren after 16 years together.
Yeah, that was pretty shocking.
Definitely a lot to unpack there, and that's what we're here for today.
Absolutely.
So we've got her Wikipedia page pulled up and a recent TMZ article on the separation.
Oh, and let's not forget Cash Warren's bio, too. We got to get all sides of the story, right?
Exactly. Got to get the full picture.
Yeah.
So let's kick things off with the early years. Classic Pomona girl makes good story.
Born in 81, California girl through and through.
That's right, sunshine and all, but her wiki also mentions, get this, a childhood full of illness.
Oh, wow. Yeah, pneumonia, collapsed lungs.
Ruptured appendix, the whole 9 yards.
Really puts things in perspective, huh?
No kidding. Makes you wonder if overcoming all that, maybe fueled her drive later on.
It's possible. Got to build up that resilience somehow.
And speaking of interesting contrasts, her family was pretty conservative.
But Jessica identified as a feminist from a young age.
5 years old. Can you believe that?
Wow. Talk about starting early.
Makes you think about how navigating those different viewpoints maybe shaped her worldview.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, let's fast forward a bit. Her acting career really kicked off early, too.
Camp Nowhere, Alex Mack, Flipper. She was working consistently from, 13?
That's right. And here's a fun fact. Ready for this? She was Paidy certified before she could even walk.
Wait, what?
Her mom was a lifeguard, so clearly diving into things headfirst runs in the family, right?
I guess so.
And then, bam, James Cameron handpicks her for Dark Angel.
Golden Globe nomination right out the gate.
Not to mention the show's legacy, really impactful for feminist sci-fi.
Definitely left its mark. Even TV Guide ranked her character, Max Guevara.
Number 17 on their greatest sci-fi legends list.
No small feat.
But then she hits Fantastic Four, and the reviews, oof, not so kind.
Yeah, especially that one from The Guardian.
It's like they couldn't see past her looks, even when she's playing a character whose power is invisibility. Yeah. Ironic, right?
It's kind of messed up when you think about it.
And there's that story from Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Oh, yeah. What was it? Cry Pretty Jessica?
From the director, no less.
Makes you wonder if that was a turning point for her.
Maybe she thought, all right, enough of this.
Because after that, you see her in rom-coms like Good Luck Chuck.
Action flicks like Machete. Was she trying to break out of that box?
Good question. We'll have to see if it worked.
Well, one thing's for sure. She didn't just sit around waiting for Hollywood to figure it out.
Enter The Honest Company.
Co-founded in 2012. Boom. Billion-dollar valuation by 2014.
Not just an actress anymore.
Beauty products in 2015. This woman's a powerhouse.
And, thinking about it, her childhood illnesses that focus on non-toxic products with Honest.
Makes sense, right? Personal experience driving business decisions.
Absolutely. And then she writes, The Honest Life, New York Times bestseller.
Walking the walk and talking the talk. That's got to resonate with people.
Authenticity goes a long way.
Now, when we get to her activism, things get a little, shall we say, interesting.
Oh, yeah. Definitely some ups and downs there.
You got to talk about that Declare Yourself campaign.
Bondage themed. Definitely got people talking.
Especially about voting, which was the point. And she even said something about being shocking to get her message across.
A bold move.
And then there's the whole shark poster incident.
Yeah, good intentions maybe, but not the best execution.
Sparked a whole debate about, activism in the age of social media.
Where everything gets blown out of proportion.
And of course, her political affiliations are out there. Support for Obama, Clinton, gay rights. It's all on Wikipedia.
And just to be clear, we're not taking sides here.
Of course not, just reporting what's in the sources.
Right, just laying it all out there.
But it is interesting how she's been both a vocal advocate
and consistently ranked on those sexiest lists.
How does she navigate that,
Right. Is it empowering or objectifying?
On the one hand, she's being celebrated for her looks.
But on the other, there's that quote about refusing to use her sexuality in Hollywood meetings.
Basically saying, I'm not here for that.
Powerful statement.
And then, bam, separation announcement, 16 years, poof.
TMZ broke the news. It's everywhere.
They met on the set of Fantastic Four, married in 2008, seemed like the perfect couple.
3 kids, the whole fairy tale, and now this.
And their relationship moved pretty fast, dating in 2004, engaged by 2007. She was still young.
Maybe it was just too much too soon.
And remember, she was with Michael Weatherly before, 12 years older than her.
Are we seeing a pattern here?
Maybe we'll have to dig into that a little deeper in part 2.
Sounds like a plan.
Now, let's switch gears and talk about Cash Warren for a bit. He's a bit of an enigma, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he's definitely flown under the radar compared to Jessica. Okay, so we've gone over a lot, huh?
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground with Jessica.
From childhood illnesses, that whirlwind acting career, and now this separation.
And through it all, she's kind of a master at defying expectations, right?
You're right. You see it early on with her feminist views and her family's conservative background.
And then, boom, she launches a business right when her acting career is peaking.
Yeah, let's dig into that a bit more. What do you think made the Honest Company so successful?
I mean, her name recognition obviously helped, but it's got to be more than that.
Right, because a lot of celebs launch products that flop.
Exactly. So what was different here?
Well, if you look at it, they tapped into something big, that demand for natural, non-toxic stuff.
Especially for babies and kids, that's like every parent's concern now.
Yeah, and remember, her own childhood health issues, she was probably hyper aware of that stuff.
That's right. So it wasn't just a business decision, it was personal for her.
Definitely, and that comes through. It's like authentic, you know?
Totally. And consumers can smell a fake from a mile away these days.
Oh yeah, they're way more savvy now.
Plus, she didn't just slap her name on it and call it a day.
No, she was involved in the whole process, the development, the marketing.
And then she writes, The Honest Life, backs it all up with like a lifestyle guide.
Smart move. Expands the whole brand beyond just products.
But it wasn't all smooth sailing, right? There were those controversies.
Oh yeah, some of the products got criticized, even lawsuits.
How did she handle all that?
She was pretty upfront about it, owned up to the mistakes.
And that's key, right? Transparency, communication.
Exactly. She focused on regaining that trust, showed they were making changes.
Because at the end of the day, nobody's perfect.
No. And even the most successful businesses hit bumps in the road.
It's all about how you respond. That's what people remember.
So let's circle back to her public image. It's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, she's out there advocating for important causes.
But then she's constantly ranked as, one of the sexiest women alive.
Does that help her activism or does it undermine it?
Good question. It's tough to say.
Like with that Declare Yourself campaign, it got people to vote, but some said it was exploitative.
And the shark poster thing, yikes. Good intentions, but maybe a bit naive.
It's like you can't win sometimes, especially with social media. Everyone's a critic.
It's a minefield out there.
But even with those missteps, it's clear she cares about making a difference.
Oh yeah, her charity work is not just for show.
Clothes off our back, Habitat for Humanity, Baby to Baby. She's putting in the work.
It's like a consistent thread throughout her career, this desire to give back.
And she's doing all this while navigating Hollywood, which can be brutal, especially for women.
Oh yeah, remember that Guardian review of Fantastic Four? Just focus on her looks.
Even when your character was literally invisible. Talk about irony.
It's like, did they even watch the movie?
Makes you wonder if that's why she shifted to business. More control, less superficiality.
It's possible. Maybe she felt like she could make a bigger impact that way.
And she hasn't given up acting completely, just seems more selective now.
Maybe it's about finding that balance, projects she believes in on her own terms.
And now with the separation, who knows what's next?
It's got to be a huge life change after 16 years.
Makes you think, will she go full force into business, or will we see a whole new side of her in her acting roles?
Maybe she'll take on more challenging, complex characters, really defy those stereotypes.
It's like a whole new chapter is starting exciting and scary at the same time.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what she does next.
Me too. All right, now let's talk about Cash Warren. He's been pretty quiet through all this.
Yeah, what's his deal?
We've covered a lot about Jessica, her journey, her drive.
Yeah, from child star to entrepreneur, activist, and now navigating the separation.
It's been quite a ride, but before we wrap up, I kind of want to circle back to Cash Warren for a minute.
Yeah, what's his side of the story?
Exactly. He's been pretty low-key through all of this.
Well, his bio paints him as a film producer, started as an assistant director, actually.
Oh, interesting. So he's been in the industry a while.
Yeah, and get this, they met on the set of Fantastic Four.
That's right, the movie that kind of made her question her acting path, if I remember her Wikipedia correctly.
Exactly. So their lives kind of intertwined at this pivotal moment for Jessica.
Makes you wonder if that shared experience in Hollywood, brought them closer.
Possibly. Dealing with all the craziness of that world, especially as a young couple.
They did seem to have it all. Got married in 2008, 3 kids.
The picture-perfect Hollywood family, at least from the outside.
Until that TMZ article dropped announcing the separation.
Short and sweet, not a lot of details.
But it does make you think about the pressures of fame, how it can strain a relationship.
Yeah, it's tough for anyone, let alone when your lives are constantly in the spotlight.
And their careers were going in different directions. She was focused on business.
He was still in film production. Maybe their goals just didn't align anymore.
It's definitely something to think about. How much do individual ambitions impact a partnership?
Especially a high-profile one like theirs.
So where does this leave Jessica? What's her next move?
Well, she's always been resilient, resourceful. I doubt this will slow her down.
Maybe even the opposite. She'll channel all this into something new and amazing.
Could be new business ventures or maybe even some really powerful acting roles.
Yeah, roles that explore the complexities of relationships, personal growth,
She's never been one to shy away from a challenge, that's for sure.
And what about Cash Warren? What's in store for him?
He's always been kind of behind the scenes, but maybe this is a turning point.
Maybe he steps into a more prominent role, personally or professionally.
Change can be a catalyst for growth. Who knows what he'll do next?
Well, one thing's for sure, Jessica Alba is a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. She's more than just a pretty face. She's a smart, driven woman who makes things happen.
And her story is far from over. I have a feeling this is just the beginning of a whole new chapter.
Definitely. And it'll be fascinating to see what she does next.
Well said. It's been a pleasure diving into Jessica Alba's world with you.
Likewise, always a good time.
And to our listeners, we encourage you to keep exploring, read her book, watch her movies, check out The Honest Company.
And most importantly, let her story inspire you to embrace your own journey. Take risks and never limit yourself.
Because you never know what you're capable of achieving.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time.